Yo, what's going on, guys? Parker here, and I'm back with another video. And today I got my top 5 final prize picks plays for the day. And before we get in this video, guys, do me a favor and subscribe to the channel down below, as well as liking this video. It really helps me out a lot. And we are on the road to 3,000 subscribers, guys. So each one of you supporting really helps me out a ton, and I really would appreciate it. And also, if you are interested in taking your gambling to the next level and getting full access to all my plays, all my write-ups, and everything like that, before the bumps and everything, go ahead and click the link down below in the description and get a 3-day free trial to the premium Discord. You can get slips like this, like this, like this, like this, like this. Lots of great slips in there. Lots of great guys. We've had really a lot of success since we started. I really would appreciate you guys joining. And you can get a 3-day free trial, so why not join? You can cancel it at any time and everything like that. It's super simple to cancel. But without further ado, guys, let's get right into these final 5 plays. So first play I got is Clint Capela. Over 21.5 points plus rebounds versus the Washington Wizards. He sold the community the other night. However, I was not on him, and now I am. He's over this in 4 of his 5 games since Quinn Snyder became the head coach of the Hawks. He finished with 16 versus the Wizards just 2 days ago. However, 3 rebounds, and he was in foul trouble. I expect him to rebound much better tonight. The Wizards are not good versus the center position. He should grab a lot of boards as a lot of shots are being fired early in the shot clock, and I think that was just a little bit of a fluke with the rebounds here tonight. He's over this in also 11 of his last 13 games versus the Wizards, which takes you back literally like 6 or 7 years. And then once again, he should play heavy minutes as long as he's not fouling, and I expect him not to foul tonight. I think that was a little bit of a fluke as well because Porzingis is going to be out on the perimeter a lot, shooting jump shots, shooting threes, and everything like that. And even if he guards Gafford inside again, Gafford is not much of an offensive threat. So I think that was a little bit of a fluke fouling all that much. And I don't think Capela is going to do it again. So Clint Capela over 21.5 points plus rebounds versus the Washington Wizards is the best bet for me. First one right there. Next up, I got Kyle Kuzma over 21.5 points tonight versus the Hawks. He's over this in 3 straight games versus the Hawks. He's over this in 4 of his last 5 games overall. The Hawks allow the most points per game to small forwards in the entire NBA. It's going to be a high-scoring matchup, and Kuzma dominates versus the Hawks. He's had huge games in his career versus the Hawks. He's had huge games recently, as he had 28 last week, and then he had 25 versus the Hawks just a couple of nights ago. I expect Kuzma to do this once again. He did it the other night on just 15 shots. I expect him to take way more shots than that. Porzingis had 43 points the other night is why his shots were down, and I just don't expect Porzingis to drop 43 points again. I expect this night to be a Kuzma Beal night, maybe a Kuzma masterclass. Sprinkle that in a little bit in there. And I'd be really happy to see that. I think Kuzma covers this line pretty easily. I expect him to go for 25 or so tonight, and I expect him to cover this, be a no-sweat bet. So Kyle Kuzma, over 21.5 points versus the Hawks, another best bet for me. Next up, we got the wagon, baby. Anthony Davis. Tonight I'm on his points, over 28.5 points versus the Toronto Raptors. He's over this in 4 of his last 5 games. The Raptors are actually not good versus the center position, even though they're a really good defensive team. They allow the 11th most points per game to centers, and this has to be due to their lack of depth at center. All they have is Jakob Poeltl, and then, Achua, but he's not really a center. And then they throw Siakam at center. Like, they don't really have a center besides Poeltl. They allow the 7th highest field goal percentage to centers. The Raptors allow the 7th most points per game to centers over the last 30 days, and Davis should cook Jakob Poeltl. Jakob Poeltl is just simply too small in the weight room, and he's not physically athletic enough to guard Davis. I expect Davis to go right around him, maybe put him on a poster once or twice, hit him with the fadeaways. Anthony Davis has been on a killer streak recently. He's looking like a top 5 player in the NBA, and I expect him to ball out tonight. I really do. I don't see any reason why Davis doesn't have a huge night and cover this line versus the Raptors. So Anthony Davis over 28.5 points versus the Raptors, another best bet from me. Next up, I got Fred VanVleet, Freddie V, over 28.5 points plus assists versus the Lakers. First off, I think you'll get a couple more calls tonight, maybe, after he went on a tangent on the NBA referees, said a lot of shit, got fined $30,000. So that was interesting to see. That was funny to see. But I like VanVleet being honest. That was awesome to see. And yeah, so maybe he'll get some more calls. Maybe this will go against him and he'll get even less calls. So the Lakers allow the 2nd most points per game to point guards in the entire NBA. The Lakers allow 8.1 assists per game to point guards, which is pretty high up there. It's not high like in terms of it's tied with a lot of teams because there's so many teams just in that like 8.8 to 8.0 assists per game to point guards range. So he's tied with a bunch of teams there. Even with the Lakers' defensive improvements, their weak point is still versus the point guards as they are allowing 27.1 points per game over the last 30 days. This is pretty obvious why this happens. They have Jared Vanderbilt and Anthony Davis, who are both top 5 defenders at their positions in the league. And nobody really out there to guard the point guard position besides Dennis Schroeder. And when Dennis Schroeder's out, they don't really have a secondary defender like D'Lo would be guarding him, and he should cook D'Lo because it's looking like D'Lo is going to be back tonight. And I'm interested to see who starts, Schroeder or D'Lo. But he's also over this line in 2 of his last 3 games. He's had 8+ assists in 7 straight games. So also, I don't mind his line at 8 assists. I would also take that as a pivot play if you don't want to take this. However, I'm taking points assists tonight because I do think VanVleet will score a lot tonight because this is a really good matchup for him. And then his usage has increased a lot since the trade deadline. He's really facilitating and running the offense through him. And Fred VanVleet over 28.5 points plus assists versus the Lakers is another best bet right there. Then finally, my last best bet of the day, we got Joel Embiid over 43.5 points plus rebounds versus the Portland Trailblazers today. He's over this line in 2 straight games. This is a great matchup for Embiid. The Trailblazers are not a good defensive team, and especially versus centers, as you'll see in a minute. He's had 10+ rebounds in 12 of his last 13 home games because for some reason he doesn't rebound on the road. He doesn't rebound at all, and he rebounds like crazy at home. And PrizePicks didn't adjust to this line, and they still have this line too low, and they are sleeping on this. So rebounds, this is why I'm taking points plus rebounds because he snags like crazy at home. And then the Trailblazers allow the most points per game to centers in the entire NBA. The Trailblazers allow the 9th most rebounds per game to centers in the entire NBA. Be on the lookout for a Joel Embiid masterclass tonight, guys. I'm thinking a 35-14 game from Embiid. I really am. Maybe better than that. He's dropped 40 or 39 plus in back-to-back games. Maybe a 40 piece. The Trailblazers have no way to guard him. They're going to throw Nurkic at him. He's going to cook Nurkic's slow ass. Joel Embiid over 43.5 points plus rebounds versus the Trailblazers. Another best bet, and that's my last best bet of the day. So if you guys did enjoy this video, do me a favor and subscribe to the channel down below. Like I said, really every subscriber means a lot, as well as liking this video pushes this content out to more and more people. And if you are interested in joining the premium Discord and taking your gambling to the next level, go ahead and click that link down below in the description and get yourself a 3-day free trial. I really would appreciate it. It really helps me out a lot, guys. Helps me, move on to becoming a full-time content creator, trying to become that and everything like that. And we're on the grind to do so. But without further ado, guys, I will see you on